Yo, and hello, everybody. Mike here, baseball collector. Welcome to your favorite hobby game show. There's only two contestants. It's Mike. It's Chris. This is Showcase Showdown. Chris, welcome to the show. How does that feel starting season 3? How you finished season 1 and season 2?
Well, that's kind of a loaded question. I don't know if you're trying to come in, kind of digging on me already, or just being a nice guy that I get to be friends with you, that kind of stuff. But I'm betting it's because you're kind of taking advantage of the fact that I lost season 1 and season 2. But I tell you what, season 3 is fun, and me getting ready for season 3 was a lot of fun. And I've had some advice from other people that watch this. You want to know what that advice is?
Oh, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Okay, that advice is I come in and I start talking, and man, when I'm sitting on this side, I just need to say, man, last week kind of a bummer. It went right down to the wire, and you won it on the last card. See? So you're going to say I didn't win it on the last card.
I didn't win it on the last card.
But when I say that, though, people aren't gonna. They're gonna remember we had this showdown, but they're not gonna remember how close it was. And so if I throw that in there, they're gonna be, oh dang, he barely lost. So anyway, it's good advice. I think I might take it down the road because I think you might forget and say, yeah, it was that close. So there you go.
Dude, I think lying and misleading people is a great way to build support for your side of this show. That's probably a good idea.
That advice probably wasn't from two of the most upstanding friends that I have.
Well, we are recording this pre-Super Bowl because I don't know if I could stand Chris. A, if the Chiefs win, I probably won't be able to tolerate him. And B, I dang sure ain't going to tolerate him if the Chiefs lose. I see Patrick behind you, yes. Here we are.
That's probably a good move, Mike. It is a good move because, again, you won't be able to stand me when we win. But if some chance we lose, I might go into hiding for a week or two and that kind of stuff. So you're a pretty smart man, Mike.
See, here's the funny thing about people that are, you're right now, the Chiefs are kind of the annual, always going to be there deep in the playoffs, all that. You're living a wonderful time. There's been times as a Chiefs fan that has not been true. Think about the Patriots, right? Think about any dynasty. We had it with the Cowboys 30 years ago. But Yankees fans are always like this. Like, it's World Series or bust every year for Yankees fans. And that cracks me up. If the Lions were in the Super Bowl, which they've, never won, they'd be just thrilled to be there, right? You're like, dude, we better win or else my world's over. And it cracks me up because how many of you won? How many has Mahomes won?
Oh, 3.
3. Okay.
Getting ready to be 4, but he's always in the American the championship game. And can I tell you, I'm going to confess.
7 years in a row have they been to the AFC Championship?
See, it's just not enough. Whatever it is, they're not enough.
That's the thing.
So here's the deal. You are right. I am such a hypocrite. I'm going to admit that right now because back in 2018, because I lived through some really bad Chiefs teams, right? I mean, you got to understand, I lived through some really bad quarterbacks and all that kind of stuff. In 2018, you could have caught me on a Saturday going to bed at night, kneeling down at my bed. You just picture the little kid kneeling down in his bed, saying his prayers at night before he goes to sleep. And I would have said, please, Lord, in my lifetime, just give me one Super Bowl in my lifetime. Yeah, the one was in my lifetime, but heck, I was 3 years old. I didn't know any better. And so you catch me doing that. Well, now you'll catch me kneeling down by the bed saying, come on, please, Lord, just what's wrong with having like one or two more, right? One was good enough back in the day. Six isn't good enough for me right now, and I get the Chiefs fatigue, and that's why I truly don't talk about it much except when you and I are on. So I know a lot of people are tired of the Chiefs, but I am not.
I
And
know.
so anyway,
Just enjoy the ride, right?
I I
And
am. I am.
so enjoy the ride. There's all franchises go through periods of, good and bad, unless, of course, you're the Mariners or somebody who's never been to the promised land. But okay, today, episode 2, season 3, we're doing Jim Palmer, the great pitcher for the Orioles, his entire career. I'll tell you, so Jim Palmer was tail end of his career was the beginning of my baseball fandom, right? So early 80s, I start watching everything baseball, and to me, Jim Palmer was kind of one of those old guys, just like Fergie Jenkins last week, which, by the way, it's ironic. Their cards are the exact same years,
Right.
66 to 84. And we're going to show I'm going to show all of them. I don't know if you've got them all, but we'll find out. But you know what? So Jim Palmer retires. He's still a relatively young guy, right? And so my memories of Jim Palmer, I'm going to share with you. This is my memories of Jim Palmer. Is him in the copy ads.
Did you have that hanging up on your wall there, Mike?
It feels weird on a whole lot of levels. You've got that one. Some guys, might remember, like this right here. Like this is on eBay. Like you can go buy this. You can go buy Jim Palmer with his, mostly naked with wearing a pin. And I don't know. It's like every Sports Illustrated, had Jim Palmer in his underwear or something, and it was just weird. So I didn't know Jim Palmer as a pitcher. I knew him as an underwear model.
I knew him that way as well. Now, so during that time period, I remember late, but there's some stuff I'd like to talk about Jim Palmer. But late, I remember when Jim Palmer was thinking about coming out of retirement when he was chosen to be in the Hall of Fame. And he was older. His arm was strong. He was working out, showed him working out before spring training. And I think some of the people that are my age that's watching this will remember that as well, because they were talking about how successful he might be. And I don't know if he got hurt in spring training or what, but he was going to try to pitch, going to come out and pitch as a mid upper 40s kind of guy. And I'm glad he didn't, because, the only thing he could have done is hurt his image, he tarnished his image. But he was one of the first players I ever heard of in an interview say that he came from a privileged life. You hear an interview most of the time, they'll be honest. People will be honest with you, but he'll say, listen, I didn't have to overcome anything. I was adopted by some wealthy parents. They let me, they made sure that I had the best equipment, the best coaches, the best everything. And I owe everything to them. But I mean, that was just refreshing to me, because, you hear these interviews all the time. Nobody thought we had a chance. Everybody was against us, and you'll hear the Chiefs when they win the Super Bowl say, "Oh, nobody thought we could do it," that kind of stuff. Well, but at least Jim Palmer, I remember him being honest. And then the other thing I remember about Jim Palmer is he's the winningest pitcher in all time in the 70s, right? He's also the winningest pitcher from the year 75 to 85. And the reason I know that is one of my favorite pitchers from the Kansas City Royals, Dennis Leonard was the second winningest pitcher from 1975 to 85.
Dennis
And
Leonard for the
Dennis
Royals.
for the Royals. And a lot of people, and I'm probably off on that. Somebody had looked that up. I was always right before Google because I was just loud and everybody would just have to listen to it. But I always said that. I think he's the second winningest pitcher from 1975 on. But anyway, Jim Palmer was a class act to me. When he didn't make the playoffs, you'd always see him with a microphone in his hand, and very articulate, I think very underrated pitcher. What do you think about his being underrated? Do you think that or no?
I do think that. He won 20 games 8 times, which the win has become very diluted in baseball today. It was everything back then because the pitchers pitched so much longer into games, and they were on the hook for the win or the loss most of the time. And now it's, nobody cares if a guy wins 20, or it's more of a big deal. Few guys do it nowadays. He did it 8 times. Yeah, he was on some good teams, but he's what made those teams good. He won 3 Cy Youngs. He finished in the top 5 other times, 5 other seasons. And
Right.
So to say Jim Palmer was just a pretty face, so to speak, or looked good in underwear, I think is short-sighted on how quality his career was. He didn't hit any of the big milestones. He didn't get 300 wins. He didn't get 3,000. I don't think he got 3,000 strikeouts.
He did not. He did not.
He did not. So
Like 2,700, I think 2,600. I haven't looked it up, but
2,200.
Yep, nailed it. Yeah, right.
You were spot on there. Career ERA of 2.86. That's pretty darn solid. And so he had a stretch there from 70 to 80 where it was just ridiculous. Even in 82, at the age of 36, he was 15-5, finished second in the Cy Young. Who beat him that year? Let's see. It was Pete Vukovich.
Oh, Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah. When the Brewers, believe it or not, kids, the Brewers used to be in the American League. So,
Harvey Wallbangers, they were really good. So another thing about Jim Palmer that I think is special. He's a pitcher. He didn't go out there on the mound to strike everybody out, and he did not give up a grand slam in his Major League Baseball career. Now that's amazing. Not a single grand slam. There's somebody that got him in the minor leagues, but he never. That was his deal. He wasn't gonna pitch to you. If there's a runner on base, he was pitching to you. He knew he had a good team. It's easier to come back from a 1-0 deficit than it is from a 4-0 deficit. So it's amazing that he pitched all that time and never gave up a grand slam.
That's crazy. Well, let's get into some cards. People are probably tired of us talking. Why don't you tell everybody quickly how this works, and we will start showing some cards and get into the showdown.
All right, guys, to start, again, this is the greatest half hour on YouTube, the most fun I'll have. But get all your Jim Palmers out. Get all your Jim Palmer cards out. Follow along with us. Go from his last card, which is in 1984, to his first card, which is in 1966. And what we do is we go backwards. We get 5 points for having the card. And then we get our cards. Our cards are slabbed and graded, and we add to that 5 points if we have the grade on top of that card. For instance, if Mike has a 10 on the 84, he gets 5 points for having the card and 10 points for the grade. He gets 15 total points. At midway through, Mike add up the score. Probably will make a little fun of me about how far I'm down, but I'm not going to be down far this time. And then at the end, he's going to total up the score. Now, the last card, which is the rookie card, it's going to be worth double the points. So you get 5 points for having the card. That's 5 times 2 is 10. and let's say you got a 5 on the card, that's 10 more points. That's 20 points for having that card. He'll total that up at the end, and he'll decide who the winner is. Now, I need you to help me keep him honest. That's going to be tough. But maybe he can see it in his heart to be a little bit honest this time, and we'll decide who the winner is. Please let us know how well you do against us, and just sit around, enjoy looking at the cards. Because Mike, when was the last time you got a whole bunch of Jim Palmer cards out?
Never. I've never done a showcase or anything, and I have his whole run. So this is the first time.
Yeah, so we get a look at these cards that we haven't looked at for a long time, along with you guys. So just and I tell you, take a minute or two after this and just look up Jim Palmer and see what you thought of him and where you rank him as far as pitchers go in that era. Did I get everything right, Mike?
That is great, Chris. You get another week, because
All right.
plan on keeping you in that seat another week. Because as the winner last week, I will go. I'm the home team. You are the visitors. Let's get into showdown mode. Let's start off with 84 tops. What do you got?
Well, I'm not going to fall too far behind you, because in this 84 tops, I have a 9.
That's pretty good. You're right. You're not going to fall behind, because I have a 9.
Okay.
I will tell you, that's the highest graded. That's the only 9 I have, and that's the highest graded Palmer I have. So I have to tell you, I'm a little nervous. Before I show you his 83, there's his 84 Donruss. Great card. And then 83, I have an 8.5, which is kind of weird grade.
Oh, well, I have an 8.
Okay.
I'm down a half a point already.
Down.
I'm just going to try to keep from getting no hit. But I'll tell you what, I too have all of his cards. So there's not going to be anything hidden there. Oh, yeah, love that card.
Love all the super veterans in 83. We saw one last week with Fergie. All right, 82, what do you got?
Yeah, this is where I might fall behind. No, not might. I will fall behind, because I have a 6.
Well, you were already behind. Let's just be clear. But yes, further behind, I have an 8.
Okay.
These Palmer cards, for everybody out there, not expensive. Like he's for who he is as a player and what his career was, you can get his cards pretty cheap.
So if somebody wanted to beat us on this run, some of these cards all the way down to the mid 70s, you can get 9s pretty good.
There's his in action from 82. Love the hockey sticks cards. All right, 81. I love this card. It's a cool action shot. He was so gangly. There's an 8.
Well, I'll get you another point, because there is a 7.
Nice.
But I'm sure if we dissected these cards a little bit, cut them open, and look at them closer, mine would have looked prettier.
Okay. All right. 80.
All right. I'm not making a comeback yet, but I will start making a comeback. I guarantee you. Guarantee.
Okay.
I have a 6.5.
I have an 8.
I thought about going out and buying these cards in a little bit higher grade, but that would be sinking awful low for me, and I just wouldn't want to do that this time.
Don't you love the 79? I love the All-Star banner. This is just a cool baseball card.
Beautiful card. Beautiful card.
I got an 8.
I got a 7. I'm afraid I'm going to dig myself a hole here that I cannot get out of.
Well, so far I'm pitching a no-hitter, so
that's not going to happen. It is not. So I also like the 78 cards with the All-Star police badge. It looks like up in the corner.
I call it a shield, but yeah, it does look like a police badge.
I got a 6.5.
I got an 8.
Did you go out and just buy a bunch of eights? Is that what you did?
No. I just tried to tell you how cheap they are. 77. I have an 8.
Well, I have a 7.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
All right. So this might be my favorite Jim Palmer card to tell you the truth, with all the colors and stuff in it, and I have a 6. Nope. Tell me, is that a 6? It is.
It is.
6.
That's a 6.
Okay.
You're welcome. I have a 7. All right, we're about halfway through.
And you got a no-hitter going against me.
I do. I'm pitching a no. We're not supposed to talk about it. That's the rule. But it's.
Well, I'm sitting next to you on the bench, and if you're the pitcher pitching a no-hitter, I'm coming right up to you and saying, "Is that a no-hitter you got going on there?"
It is 117.5 to 108. So
okay.
not insurmountable right now, but
it is not, and I still have a glimmering of hope and despair, pride and frustration getting ready to come up here.
Well, 75. This is another good color. Like, some of the colors don't make sense on 75s. This one for the Orioles, that works pretty good. I got a 7.
And I have a 5.
Okay.
Now, if you're watching this, don't just tune away and say, "Hey, Mike's got this all wrapped up," because I have a couple of pretty nice looking cards to show some people.
Well,
but it just might not be this one right here. Okay. I have on a 74, this is another kind of neat in action thing. I have a 7.
Hey, it's a push again. I got a 7.
Okay. I feel like that's a win for me.
You're hanging in there. 73. Go ahead.
Well, after this card, I'm coming back little by little.
Okay.
But 73.
I have a 7.
Okay. And I have a 4. Okay.
He does have a lot of good in action.
Well, he raises that leg up. Not quite like Martial or some of those guys, but man, he did get that knee up high and love that delivery.
You remember the boyhood photos of the stars cards?
So take your time and read the back of that one, and because he's honest on the back of that one too. Look, he's in a swimming pool. That swimming pool's at his house.
He was naked already. Like, look, he's already getting used. He's getting ready for those jockey ads as a little kid.
Is it you with the 72 or me?
You're even numbers. You're even years. So
okay, well, even this. I got an 8.
Oh, there goes the no.
That's what I thought.
So I got a 6.
Okay, I like that.
I don't.
I do. This tough card. This is your turn here.
71. Yeah, very tough. High number. So I have a 6.
I have a 7.
Oh, look at you. Since this card is so tough, you should get like triple points for that, right?
I actually thought you would have a 5. Seriously, because that is a tough card. That is a tough card. And I just think I'm going to show that a little longer so I can, enjoy this win.
Enjoy it.
Okay.
So 2 in a row. You'd think you'd won the whole thing. All right. What do you got on the 70?
Oh, I got a 5.
Yeah. Now things are normalizing. There's a 6. But it's funny. They just look, no one would ever tell the difference between the two cards. Let's be honest. All right. 69. It's you.
No, you told me I was even.
Damn it. I did. 69.
Yeah.
6.5.
I'll be darned. Keep it. Make sure he's being honest there because I can't see his at all. I have a 6.
Oh, Chris.
So
All right.
68. 68.
Yep.
I have a 5.
I have a 6.
So, Mike, how many Jim Palmer autographs do you have?
Probably 25 to 30 would be my guess. So, 67.
Ooh.
Another cool card. I have a 5. 5.
Yeah, this one I have a 3. Actually, thought I had a better one than that, but I don't. But I don't.
Well, you're
Well,
down 16 points as we head into the rookie card. So you need me to not have this card.
I need you to not have that, or let me. Of course, I better not say this because you've got a rookie card signed somewhere.
I do.
But I have 3 Jim Palmer rookie cards, but you're not going to give me credit for it. So I got out my best one,
You're right.
and I got a good one though. I got a
Okay.
good one, and I want to. If this was golf, I'd be pressing, but I don't. I'm not going to do that. I have a 7.
Nice.
That's a beautiful card.
That's probably not that's probably one of the most affordable PSA 7 vintage Hall of Fame rookies you can get, I would guess.
Yes, probably. Or it would be that year. 66 is loaded with a couple of those guys.
Right.
Fergus Jenkins and stuff. Yeah.
That technically right this second you have the lead.
All right. Well, why don't you trip, let that thing fall between the cracks through your vent, and you can't get it out. And let me just circle the bases right now.
No, I do have a 5 in the rookie. So there it is. God, that's an old holder. I mean, that's like a 0 starting number. That's crazy how old that is. Wow. All right. 239 to 227 is the final score.
I've had this one a long time too. It's with the old blue tape still.
Yeah. Blue tape, all the tape.
Yep.
Is that card in the 300 great cards? I can't remember. I don't think so, but
Mike, for somebody that's been collecting that thing a long time,
you would think I would know.
Got everybody else in on it. You think you would know the answer to that.
You would think. Now I'm clicking feverishly to go to that list and see.
I got my book right here. I can get out.
Nope, he's not in it. Oh, yes, he is. He is. That's in the 300 great cards.
So if we were doing 300 great cards today, and we had to get out our Jim Palmer 300 great cards, I just beat you by 2 points. I'm going to celebrate that. I'm going to celebrate that.
Yeah, I need to go maybe upgrade that card. But, man, that was still fun to get out all our Jim Palmer cards, right?
When he was on our list, when you put him on our list, I was like, oh, gosh, how many do I have to go pick up? And it was none. And I just got out those to enjoy. I mean, I'm glad we got them out. Some of these guys, if it wasn't for Showcase Showdown right now, I don't know when I would get some of these out. So I bet there's a Jim Palmer collector out there that watched this that said, hey, I got those cards. I got those cards. And maybe this gave them a reason to get those cards out.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
Most people just tune in to see you get whooped, but that's all right.
No, they're tuning in just hoping that you who wear the black hat and me who wear the white hat, because I'm the good guy, they're just hoping that I can take you down one. They're lining up to see that, and they're going to get that. They're going to get that coming up. Well,
let's see if they get it next week. Let's see who we're going to do next week. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, let's spin the wheel of names. Down to some pretty good ones.
Don't kick that table. Holy cow.
Catfish Hunter, Jim Hunter. Is this like a pitcher season or what?
You know what? This time period right now is loaded with these kind of pitchers from mid 60s to early, to 80s. There's a bunch of good Hall of Fame pitchers in that, and Catfish Hunter happens to be one.
Yeah, that will be fun. A's, Yankees. What is he? 65 to 79, I think. Is his
Yeah,
run.
not a ton of cards.
Yeah.
But he was very important to baseball in the 70s. That was a big name. He was, even though Vita Blue was great, he was the ace really of the A's, and then a big free agent. Always in the news. Good one to do. Good one to do.
Save all those cool stories about Jim Hunter for next week. And Chris, I hope the Chiefs win for you, man. I really do.
I'm a little bit down right now. But if you'll know how I feel you'll know if they win. I'll probably be wearing red head to toe, and all my Jim Hunter cards will be autographed by Patrick Mahomes. That I'll show. They'll all say marked on them, but no, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
By the time they watch this, everybody else will know as well. But thanks everybody for tuning in this week for Showcase Showdown. We'll catch you on the next one with Jim Catfish Hunter. Have a great week and keep collecting.